Is that worth that thing out there? Is worth that?
That's the main migration for
Doesn't bother me.
No. But so the chairman will conduct the meeting, get Mr. Trim to be able to do his thing now. And do his thing.
Are we on?
The check probably said on your lap.
Okay. We'll call the committee facility meeting to order. In absence of the chairman, I will conduct the meeting and the purpose of the business until he gets here. He's being delayed, as you all know. He's a construction person too. And I guess we have a gentleman here from North Tech Pulses, Mr. Trim.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And we're going to have you go first.
Thank you very much.
Come up here and join us if you want to. You're more than welcome.
Feel free. Thank you for giving me the time to speak with you about it's called work-based learning, and what we do is right now I have 10 seniors in my program that have spent 900 hours learning welding, and the state mandates that we spend about 4 weeks. The students spend about 4 weeks on a work site, and you know what the business is like in St. Lawrence County. The small businesses are flying away like crazy, so it's getting harder and harder to find some quality sites for them. And since I had 3 people that have passed the New York State bridge test, the D-1 structural welding test that New York State gives, that I thought it would be a nice idea to maybe, get in contact with you and see if maybe we can put 1 or more students in the site here, for that 4 weeks. And we're very flexible. We can take, if the schedule doesn't work out here and all of a sudden we can't handle, something happens here, we can't handle them here, they can easily spend their time at Northwest Tech doing something there. And Mr. Lawrence mentioned that there were some ladders maybe that needed to be constructed, and maybe we could do that off-site as well. Let's say it's a rainy day. You mentioned, Scott Chappell mentioned that, on a rainy day you might not want to have somebody out on the bridge welding. That makes sense. So it'd be a good idea to have a backup plan. And maybe we can get some stuff done, for you guys on our site over there. I've got some really good students this year. It's a 4-week program. It's to replace my program for those 4 weeks. So it'd be basically from 9 o'clock until 11:30. Of course, those times are very flexible. I know that I don't want what we do to in any way interfere with what you guys do, because that would be kind of ridiculous to have us come in and kind of put a stop in things. I say the same thing to the private companies out there that take our people, that we don't want to interfere with their day. What we hope, our goal is, and it's not a must, and I would say that it's probably about 20%, maybe to 30% that they actually get hired from these sites. Go in there, it's kind of like a probationary period. There's no compensation in any way. Students go in, get assigned work. They do work. They either work with an employee or work alone or work with a boss, do some jobs, and at the end of the program they can get hired or they're let on their way. Some end up going to college and otherwise, that kind of thing. So it's called the Work-Based Learning Program. It's been incorporated, or it's been in our BOCES program since I've been around. I've been in the BOCES for 23 years, and we've been doing it for a lot of years. I would never, ever, just to alleviate anybody with any doubts, I would never send a student out on any work site, let alone this work site, with any sort of background that is shady. So if I've read his name in the paper, a couple of times for whatever reason, if I know he's got drug history, if he's talks about it all the time, if their attendance isn't up to, we allow 15 days per year, which I think is very generous. So we allow them to go kind of like what you might call unexcused absences. Of course, they have to report to me why. They have to call me, just like it was a regular job. I try to make it as much like a job as I can. And it'd kind of be nice if it was a screening process. If we have somebody that, has been working out really well for those 4 weeks and fit in the crew really well and did some nice work, maybe they can be, looked on as, as a prospective employee.
When are you thinking, David, when are you thinking about conceptually when would this program kick off?
Well, for this year, I'd like it to start Monday. But we're very flexible. Like I said, if it happens to be a couple of weeks, it's a couple of weeks. So the max that they're going to get 4. So we can go down as little as a week. You know. I've got 2 guys in mind right now that are prepared and ready to go. They both have their welding certificate. One is a little more capable than the other, but they both have proven to me that they've got, at least at my end, they've got the welding skills. They've got the personality that is cooperative and very mature for their age. You know, they don't act like children. They have a tendency to act more like adults. You know, they have very good attendance, and one guy is very exceptional. I think he's probably one of the best students I've had in the last, 5 or 6 years. And he's very good with me. I'm not saying that when he gets out into the real world, something might be a little different, but I tell you, we get odd projects coming in, people break things, they bring them in, and by the time he asks me a question, he's already got a plan on how he would go about making the repair, because we might have to adjust that a little bit, but he's very good about doing that kind of thing. So, any other questions? I'll be able to answer.
Is this only just for the school year, or does this go all summer?
Well, it can if the student has been, now this, the 4 weeks with us is non-compensated. It is, I don't know, hear anything, but after that, like I said, it could be like a probationary period, maybe that they could be hired, 1 day a week or whatever, but after my 4 weeks is done, my hands are...
4 weeks? 4 weeks, and
yeah, the first week of June.
Then he's on his own.
Then he's on his own. That doesn't mean I'm not there for support, when they need something.
So what's the next step? Is this something where officially BOCES will reach out, contact us with the details of work-based learning program, and then we can officially consider it and go from there, or how does this, how do you envision this working?
Ultimately, I prefer, once I've made my initial contact, which I feel like I'm doing right now, what I would really like to do is have the students have a packet ready, resume, cover letter, application, whatever they have available to them, awards and certificates, and actually make contact here, or any other worksite, and make their own contact as if, because it gives them one more chance to do it on their own. If I go and baby them through, I feel that I'm taking an opportunity away from them. So if they come in, they make the contact, they come in with a tie, all nervous, and that's what I'd rather them go through now, so that when they get to be, 23, they've had a couple of them underneath their shoulder, underneath their belt, and maybe they can, do a little bit better in their interviews in the future. But since it is kind of late, to be perfectly honest with you, I had these 2 guys slated for Bruns Brothers. I don't know if you're familiar with the sanitary welding that was done on Main Street, and they were very good at being TIG welding and doing very fine welding, and that's where they were slated to go. And then April 1st, we got a phone call, we're shutting down. So then I got to find someplace for these to go. Not that you guys are my last resort. The reason why I've never been here is because they don't come here. It is. 2 if possible. It can be 1. I'm not trying to push off students. We're so flexible.
So it's 9:30 to 11?
9 o'clock to 11:30.
11:30, okay. And that's for 4 weeks?
For 4 weeks, starting May 12th, if that's possible. Like I said, there's rainy days, or, there's a couple of days we have off in on Memorial Day, so we can use those. If the crew is busy and they don't have time to deal with a probationary person, that, like I said, we can keep them in the shop over there. There's stuff that we can have them do over there. I'm on another train. Oh, the reason why I haven't been here before now is I don't know where the students live per se, their house. And instead of them going to home school, they come to me in the morning for 2.5 hours, and then you go back to home school, Lisbon, Hubleton, Morristown. And since I don't really know where they live, I don't know what their transportation is like, I don't pick their site for them. They pick the site for me. So they'll tell me where they're going. I make the contact if I've never met that organization before, some farms, some of the businesses like Hebel Welding and so on. I've already made that contact, so I don't need to go see them. But I do once a week. I make a once-a-week visit. Once a week I'm required to check on the site, make sure that everything's going all right at your end, make sure everything's going all right at the student's end, and to see what's going on. We try to interfere as little as possible with what goes on with you guys at
In
your
other
end.
words, they can come right from home to the work site.
Home or home school, depending on their schedule, yeah. And then it's their responsibility to get back to home school.
Yeah.
on time. They have to be back to school, whatever the next class is after they leave me.
That's fine, Steve. Seems interested.
Yes, I agree.
That's good.
I agree. Plus, with we're just talking out loud here in terms of one of our problems is a commitment at the port right now. We're pretty well committed. That doesn't mean that we can't do it. It just means that we need to look at it and give a hard look. I need to run this by our director of operations prior to taking this to our board. Probably, for the sake of argument, Monday is way too early because whether these folks are in the port or on the bridge, they would have to go through a background check, which does take some time there as well. And I know that we're probably going to have, on our side of the fence, some insurance-related questions and that type of thing. Whom should we contact at?
It's a letter that we provide to our employees.
Okay.
We have a packet that we give the students with.
I have a copy of that.
So, like, I don't have.
Yeah,
We'll get the rest of the packet if you might want to come. So this is what I give the students, required by the school.
Check that out, Joe.
And it's just some of the local rules for them, a statement of insurance, the evaluation form that I've developed for my students, permission slips, of course. And then the first 2 pages are done by the school. And it's something new. I haven't really went through them. There's some signatures.
Okay.
I don't really support. I believe that the work study program should have little impact on the work site as possible. I mean, like, let's use Hevel welding as an example rather than here. I mean, that guy's trying to make a buck. That's his daily thing. And if I stick a student in there and that impedes that stops that from happening, why would he use me again? So we want this to be as little impact as possible. Hopefully somebody comes in, you go, wow, he's pretty good. Let's talk to him about, the future, and maybe we can hire him. So that's our whole goal. Plus, minimal is just the experience. So they've been someplace other than under me. They've had me for 900 hours. They get really used to me. We get very friendly, for 2.5 hours a day, 5 days a week. And it's nice for them to get out and find out that, some of the BS that I give isn't quite so BS. That they heard the same thing from some employers. So,
Well, Dave, I want to thank you for doing a presentation here today, and we'll take this under consideration, and we'll ask you appropriate questions, and we'll get back with you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to rely on the executive director to walk us through these 3 items.
Jim Hall.
Well, there's 2 items for the Ogdensburg International Airport. One is a design agreement for the hangar demolition project. That's a $28,000 lump sum agreement with CNS. And the second item is a New York State DOT transportation grant offer. That's for the construction of the transient hangar. I don't know if there's any specific questions that were related to your review of the packets, whether you had any questions there or not. It's pretty much it's a standard CNS lump sum consultant agreement, and it's garden variety New York State DOT grant offer, so it's not much that I have to add to the documents. Unless there are any specific questions.
What's the amount of money on this?
The CNS agreement is $28,000, and the DOT grant is
Page 41, please.
sorry, what's that, John?
Page 41.
Yep, looking right at it. The total project is $666,667. The OBPA share is $66,667, and the grant is for $600,000.
So is there a resolution in here for that tonight?
Yes. Yeah, this would move both of these from the committee up to the full board.
Anybody else got any questions? Mark, you happy with the numbers?
Sure.
Roger?
Now, I'm just looking here. What's this 60 by 60 feet hanger? That's What are you going to store in that?
The transient hangar, that's a replacement for the one that has the beacon on it
You're
right
going
now.
to tear it down?
Yes.
Well, I didn't think that there was a call here. Do we have much call for transient hangar?
Actually, that was one of the things that was pointed out by USDOT several years ago that Ogdensburg International Airport needed. We do have FedEx right now that's in the existing hangar that would probably transition over to the new hangar.
They would use this 60 by 60 building?
We don't have a lease agreement or anything to that effect, but more than likely, yes. In addition, we've been in conversation with a helicopter firm, and there are some prospects out there for a transient hangar that we don't presently have the ability to serve.
I haven't seen, we haven't been able to use the old one in so long. And except now that you're using it for FedEx.
Yeah, we're at 100% capacity on the T hangars right now, so we have no additional indoor storage for planes at all. So more than likely, again, I can't say for certain that we'll have 100% of the transient hangar locked up, but conditions do look favorable.
Now, where would that be built? On the same spot?
No, that would be built out of the flight line. It would be built over between where the existing T hangar is now and the geography-wise, there's an old equipment storage shed that's over there. It would be located in between those areas.
Over behind
we used to keep the snowplow, I guess, at one time out there.
How far from where the fire engine building is?
It would be the other side of on the south side of the T hangar. Right now.
South side of it.
Over towards Jules and then.
Yes.
Didn't realize there's a building out there.
Yeah, there's a little one that sits way off in the distance. It's not very big. It's only like a one bay garage kind of thing.
Guess I never paid any attention to it.
Well, I would make a motion, Roger, that we recommend this to the board.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay.
Wait, we've got the runway going there, though? Is that going to pose a problem with getting a plane to it?
No, because we'll have the apron redesign done as well. There's 3 projects going on out there. There's the hangar demo, actually 4. There's the hangar demolition, the beacon relocation, the apron expansion, and the transient hangar.
So we'll start the expansion project into the location there.
Second item up is under the border station. That's the annual maintenance agreement with Train for the heating and cooling system. That agreement actually starts over on page 57, but here in just a second. This is for service agreement, covers the following equipment that the OBPA has. It's 4 Train rooftop units, 1 levered unit and dry cooler, 2 Train unit heaters, 3 burner boilers, 1 Train furnace, and 5 Train split systems. Total cost of this agreement is $5,140. And basically it's increased by 3% from the prior year. And this is the same company that's been providing our maintenance since 2004.
Is there any other bids? Is anybody else for this put up to bid or anything?
We didn't look for any. No. Steve's comfortable with Train providing the service.
Yeah, the reasons for not putting this one out were favorable historical relationship with Train, to receive Train factory certified service because those were Train units, and to renew the agreement because of the 3% price increase was felt was more than reasonable.
You move for adoption of this, Roger, for the board?
I'm just looking at it here. I read this all through at home. The only thing the only question I have, I'm amazed that you can get by with this without a bid. For can do this on service work like this?
Yes.
Because on a new project, don't you have to put it up to bid after so many dollars?
For professional service, we want to use their training qualifications, so we decided not to go out for a bid based on that.
That's the only thing I was questioning. I'll make a motion.
I second the motion. Okay, so we have a third matter now.
Under such other matters, there's 2 items. One is the sale of the Waddington lots. It's in your extra other such matters packet. When we went through the exercise with the lots at Waddington, 2 lots for whatever reason, the original sale fell through. Those lots were lots 15 and lot 20. We conducted bids, solicited bids for the sale of the 2 lots. On May 5th, we received 2 bids, and you can see the high bidder for lot 15 and the high bidder for lot 20. Lot 15 was Richard Pandell at $18,327. That was also Richard Pandell for lot number 20, $11,658. And based on that, we're recommending that staff is recommending that the sale be allowed to proceed.
I move that.
I'll agree with it. I'll second it for what you want.
Okay.
The last item up is a late addition. It is a, see that here. Do you have the preview?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Second item is the authority was approached by Alan Dupree on 2 different occasions. We received a proposal to make a tree carving at the entrance of the Commerce Park. This is that big, this big stump that's out there at the intersection of the Bridge Approach Road and Proctor Avenue. Basically, the format of this, what they're thinking is something along those lines, which would be basically a sailor with a ship's wheel and slickers with a couple of posts banded together. Total thing would be about 22 feet tall overall. The proposal was received for a cost not to exceed $2,300 based on materials only. For the sake of discussion, they're looking to use the authority's lift truck for this, and the authority would be looking for the hold harmless clause as well as proof of insurance and all that other good stuff associated with our typical agreements. I honestly didn't know what to do with this one, so I figured I'd bring it right to the facility committee, and then we can, take it to the board if the committee desires.
What is this, a tree out there that they're going to use?
That big,
Yeah,
big willow down there that's just standing there.
Big, huge stump that's down there in the corner.
And what they'll do is they're going to carve this,
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, you want to pass that around?
yeah. They're going to put a fisherman there, whatever they call them.
A sailor, I thought it was.
Whatever they call them. A what?
Oh, one of those garden gnomes?
Hold on, right? Yeah, kind of like this.
Standing under a lamp or something.
Yeah.
Hold them rotated through.
Couldn't they have a mermaid or something besides that?
I suppose we could have your picture carved into it down there, Roger.
Yeah, good idea. Let's chase everybody away.
Like total bowl and everybody's view.
I think it would, if the only thing I would say is, when you present it to the board and see what they think of it, but I think it'd be great advertisement for us. On top of that is, he's a local business here. It's going to help his business maybe, and with some of his stuff that he does. I don't think there's a lot of money involved here there's a lot of work involved in carving that out, I can tell you that. But one of the things about it is it would kind of look nice. The only thing I would like to stipulate if we were to do it is if the tree is worth doing it to. Once he gets cut into it, it was real rotten inside, then we just kill the project, cut it down, and stump it, and get rid of it because it is a sore eye there. This would really be something nice as people come into the area here to see that.
Do you think there's something else you could carve besides that?
Well, I mean, what is one of the greatest things that we're known for here over the years is fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, the largest muskies, the largest sturgeon. I mean, Danny Duper's father was the king of the sturgeon here.
Yeah.
And when we were kids growing up, that was the bay right there. And we did everything in. They're still fishing it today. So I kind of thought it would be fine.
I didn't exactly know what to do with this. It's, not every day that somebody comes to us unsolicited with a proposal. So I figured I'd at least bring
I'd
it
like to hear what the
together.
rest of the board thinks of it. I mean, it doesn't turn me on. I'd rather see something else. I like the wheel, and I think a fisherman, but I'm not sure that I'm impressed with that picture.
I've seen one of these up in Lake George.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Is it?
And
Well,
I can tell you what the guy up there got for doing it.
yeah.
Because I asked him how much it would cost to have one done. It was $18,000.
Wow.
And of course, the big, huge Kodiak bears he does is between 5 and 10. And some places up there, that up there people want it. Up there on Lake George and in that area.
Well, that's what I was wondering. You had a fisherman holding the muskie or something. Would be more appropriate.
Well, with the lighthouse and everything's going to be in there. I mean, we still have our lighthouse and the lighthouse point. And for years, this was a port. And I only can go back into history. I wish we had more history to show to people, but at one time, we built all the ships here. I mean, that's long before I was born. Long before you too, Roger.
Oh, now be careful, Fred.
Did you see them when they were building them ships here?
Yes.
Oh, you did? I didn't think so. I can remember the Macomb Hotel, though.
Well, so can I.
I think it's something we can run by the board and see. And like I say,
see what other thing.
All right. We can do that.
and if
I'm agreeable if everybody wants it, but just an impression, that's all.
there's talk about putting the big muskie there.
Well, muskie or with a fisherman holding muskie or something like that. I would be more.
That's all I have for the regular business.
Okay. We have a motion to adjourn,
I make that motion.
and I'll second it.
There's nobody else to argue.
Okay, you shut that off, did you?
Want to do an executive session? Shall so.
We can't now. We're out of session.